It's probably recording in progress. Welcome back. Cupid, Ian O'Leary, my boy Easy E is back. UFC Vegas 37, Anthony Smith versus Ryan Spann. Main card looks like it was changed up. It's going to be Nate Maness versus Tony Gravely opening up the card. When I was looking at it earlier, it was Buckley Aurora. It was five-fight main card. Buckley Aurora was first, so that's the fight we're going to start with. Got anything you want to add on the Buckley?
Yo, what's up? It's Easy the Casual coming in with all the casual opinions about these fights. I'm not so well versed in, all the research and the knowledge that my boy Mike here is. So, yeah, we'll start off with Joaquin Buckley versus Antonio Arroyo. Pull up some notes here. So, the thing about this fight is you got to consider both these guys coming off of losses. You got Joaquin Buckley coming off that nasty head kick KO against Chirico. Really nasty knockout. He's 2-2 in his last four, and 2-2 in the UFC, all by knockout. Super exciting guy. Got probably one of the greatest knockouts of all time against Impic Sagane with that ninja kick, catch the kick, spinning knockout kick, which was like every major MMA media's 2020 knockout of the year and UFC's knockout of the year. So he's one of those guys that I think with a little more experience ought to do a little bit better, maybe get a little more defense, maybe a little bit more cardio, and, will be one of those guys who could, knock out anybody. A little bit up and down record so far in the UFC. Crazy potential, though, this guy. Definitely a must-watch guy. I think probably going to be a one of those shocker fights that's going to happen on this card. And his opponent, Antonio Arroyo, he's 9-4, 2-2 in the UFC. Two of his wins in the UFC are on Dana White Contender Series. I guess if that counts. They're on his professional record. So he's on a 2-fight losing streak. Last loss against Deron Wynn. I actually watched that fight. I wasn't very impressed with Deron Wynn. I think it was kind of a controversial decision because Arroyo hit him a lot, like more than double the strikes, and Wynn just took him down a bunch and laid on him. Both didn't look like they had very good cardio. Kind of a sloppy fight by the end of it. Really not that impressive. Crazy thing about Arroyo that I found out is that since joining the UFC, since then being in the Contender Series, he's had 6 fights fall through that were scheduled, but only one was his fault. 5 of which Kevin Holland, DeChirico, Michaelitis, Eric Anders, and Tom Breese all pulled out of a fight against him. But then his 2 actual fights he had since being in the UFC, he lost. So I think this could be a really good fight. Antonio Arroyo is kind of a well-rounded guy. He can strike, he can grapple a little bit. And, this is one of those fights. It's definitely a potential make it or break it for both guys. I think more so for Arroyo. I think if he loses here, what are you going to do? You're basically 0-3 in the UFC. You got all these tainted fights that have been canceled. It's not going to be looking too good for him. Buckley, I think having like the fun factor, knowing that he's super dangerous, having that crazy knockout. If he loses this one, it's not looking good for him either. I doubt he's that much at risk of being cut, though. And that maybe, you might need to take some time off and figure some things out in his camp. But ultimately, man, I'm going with Buckley by knockout for this fight.
Yeah, I agree. Buckley knockout. He is the favorite at minus 236. On this card, we were talking about it a little earlier that this card is kind of main event heavy this week. But I think on the main card by itself, there is 2 out of the 5 fights that we preview here at least are even money. And I think on the prelims, 1, 2, 3, 4 fights on the prelims. So 6 fights total are even money, where there's no underdog, no favorite. And the fights are pretty close fights. But yeah, I got Buckley 2 knockout. I think he's got power pretty much anywhere it goes, kicks, punches. Aurora 0-2 in the UFC. He is going to have a 7-inch height advantage over Buckley, but Buckley's shape's so weird that he's going to have a 2.5-inch reach advantage over Aurora.
Yeah, so, it's crazy.
I think reach is what matters most when it comes to striking, I believe. Height's going to kind of give you an advantage over in grappling and things like that. But I agree with you. I'm gonna go Buckley, probably knockout, TKO, something like that.
Word.
Next fight.
Yeah, safe pick there.
Say his name. You got it. You say his name. I don't got his name.
Yeah, Arman Sarukian versus Christopher Giagos. I don't know if it's Giagos or Giagos. I think at least one of the G's is soft G. But,
is his name Christos too, or something like that, or Christias? Or is it?
What did I say? Did I say Christopher?
Yeah, Maltasanti.
Man, yeah, right. Christopher. Yeah, no, it's Christos.
Yeah.
My notes auto-corrected me, bro.
One more time. Say the other guy's last name for me.
Sarukian.
All right.
You it's one of those things, you sort of pronounce the T at the beginning, but you sort of don't. It's like not totally silent. It's like tsunami. Yeah, like tsunami. Okay. So, yeah, Arman Sarukian versus Christos Giagos. What you got?
Sarukian coming in minus 700. Biggest favorite on the card. 16-2. Professional record 3-1 in the UFC. Lost his UFC debut against Islam Makhachev, and then won decisions over Oliver Albon Mercier, Davy Ramos, and Matt Frivola, which was his last fight in January. He's never been submitted in his career. Only knockout loss was his second professional fight in 2015. Giagos is 19-8. 4-2 in the UFC. His only losses were to Charles Oliveira in his debut. He got submitted. And then Dakar Close by decision. He's on a 2-fight winning streak right now with decisions over Carlton Minnis and Sean Soriano. I think Sukaran is such a favorite for a reason. He's miles ahead of where Giagos is as far as talent of opponents and opponents' combined record, things like that. So, I mean, it really is going to be a huge surprise to me if Giagos is able to pull it out. I think Sarukian, yeah, is grappling, striking, anywhere the fight goes. I think he's going to be able to outcome Giagos.
100%, man. He's like the definition of well-rounded when you look at his record. 5 KOs, 5 subs, 6 decisions. Super well-rounded guy, smart fighter. Now, Giagos, definitely kind of one of those guys that looks great sometimes, doesn't look too great sometimes. 2 stints in the UFC. Back in 2014, he lost to Gilbert Burns by sub. And then in 2018, he lost to Charles Oliveira by sub. So at least like when it comes to submissions, 2 of his losses against some of the best in the world at submissions. So he's probably got pretty good. Yeah, I guess it's not a great measure because I didn't watch those fights, but man, and his one only TKO knockout loss was a TKO against Josh Emmett in 2016. We all know how hard Josh Emmett hits. So the dude doesn't get knocked out, but he tends to be on the wrong side of decisions. And
7-1 by knockout, he is.
Yeah. So he's got a tough guy, got a strong chin. Tends to lose either by sub or by decision. Honestly, I think Sarukian's a big favorite for a reason, but I could definitely see Giagos kind of pulling it out in some kind of crazy way. But I'm going Sarukian by decision. Decision because of how tough I know Giagos is.
No doubt. Yeah. Ariana Lipski, Mandy Boehm, how do you say it? You're German?
Probably. I'm not German. Fuck you, man. Probably Bohm, I would think. Probably.
Who you got?
Man, I got Bohm by decision.
Yeah.
I really don't know though. I've never seen Bohm fight. It's her UFC debut.
You got her by decision?
Yeah, she's 7-0. That's just because, man, I really don't know how this fight's gonna go. She's 7-0. I know she's really highly ranked in Europe. She's like number 5th ranked Western Europe women's fighter. She's pretty well rounded. She's got some knockout wins, some sub wins, some decision wins. And then Ariana Lipski, I think, is kind of not doing too good in the UFC right now. She's 2-4 in the UFC, 2-fight losing streak, both by TKO. So I guess in that sense, I just don't know the kind of fighter that Bohm is. So I saw she's got some knockouts and TKOs on the record. So if she's like a real good striker like that, I could definitely maybe see her TKO in Ariana Lipski. But definitely not a fight I'm really that knowledgeable about, man. But I got Bohm by decision.
Yeah, and like you said, she fought in I don't know, Western Europe, Eastern Europe, whatever you said. Pretty much her whole career, 6 fights, and then her most recent fight, she beat some girl that I couldn't pronounce her name if I tried in Bellator, and that's her biggest win right there. I mean, Lipsky, you got to think about Lipsky's fought. She's lost to these people, but Antonia Shevchenko, Montana De La Rosa. She was a former KSW women's flyweight champion and defended the belt twice. She's never been submitted in her career. 9 out of 13 of her wins are finishes, 6 knockouts, 3 submissions. She had that one of the most gruesome knockouts I've ever seen, or not knockout, submission, sorry, I've ever seen from a woman. I don't know what they call the submission, but it's kind of like she's sitting on the lady's knee and pulling her leg backwards, and like the knee is like bending the wrong way up like that. I think it was
kind of like modified knee bar or something.
Who was Dunda Santana or whatever that lady's name was? She did that too. Either way,
dude, I think I remember that. Yeah, I've seen that submission.
Yeah, it was.
I didn't know that was her.
She's screaming. The lady on the bottom is screaming, fucking like somebody's killing her and shit. Yeah, it's hard, but this is one of the fights. Odds are even money. I don't see it. I'm looking through it, 7-0, promising prospect. I kind of was just looking. I'm trying to find something that's going to give me like, oh, that's why, they're saying that she's going to. I mean, she just had 7 fights.
We don't know anything about her yet,
Lipsky's got 13 more fights than her, and she's young. It's not like she's old with that many fights. She's like high 20s, low 30s maybe. So, I mean, I don't know, man. Like you said, not a lot of knowledge on it. From what little knowledge I do, I might be naive or whatever, but I have to go Lipsky just because, we've seen what she can do, and we haven't really seen that from Foam.
Sure, man. They call me Easy Casual for a reason, bro. I'm picking the debutantes with the hype behind them that haven't proven anything yet. Going with the hype job. So you probably picked the smarter pick there, man. But I got Bohm. We might do a little.
I told you
maybe a little side bet on this one.
Huh?
Maybe a little side bet going on this one.
Maybe I'm down. But I told you I don't know if I posted or not. I just was thinking about that in the middle of this thing. That I can't remember if I even posted it, but I made it like 3 or 4 days ago. A graphic of.
Hey, I lost your audio. Can you hear me? Can you hear me? I lost your audio. Oh, it's back.
Yeah, hell yeah.
Hey, let's go.
My internet connection, boyo.
Oh, yeah.
I see it.
You got to get on that Spectrum, man.
I got Spectrum.
Oh. You got to get on that better Spectrum.
Them dudes suck booty.
I got that 400 Mbps.
I ain't got that. I got like 2.
That should be good still, too, though. But
should be. All right, next fight. Ion Cutelaba, probably saying his first name wrong, versus Devin Clark. How you say it? Say it.
I think it's like Ewan or something like that. Yeah.
So
Ion Cutelaba, the Hulk.
Yeah.
Crazy man, psycho. Dude that likes to just run and yell and scream and shove his opponents at weigh-ins. Likes to do crazy possum moves, acting like he's knocked out, not really knocked out. Then gets stopped by knockout. Then gets mad they got knocked out, but he didn't really get knocked out. Dude's a wild man. What the hell is wrong with this guy? I don't know. He's super fun to watch, though. Hasn't been doing too great in his last few fights. He lost to shit. Man, I made a point to remember this guy's name. I was like, I don't need to write it down. I'll remember it.
Magomed.
No, yeah. Magomed. Oh my God.
That's his name.
What is it?
Magomedov.
No, Ankalaev.
Ankalaev, damn it.
Yeah, there we go. I remember that. Ankalaev, yeah, he lost to him twice. The one was he was playing possum and then he got stopped. The other one was he actually got knocked out by him. Yeah. All right, your video froze up, bro.
Did it really again?
Just the video this time, not the audio.
Your video froze up. Oh, you're back.
All right, we're good. We're good. Okay. Yeah, so he got knocked out by Ankalaev. His last fight was a draw. Crazy thing about this guy's record, he's got a no contest loss. No, I'm sorry. He's got a disqualification loss, a no contest, and a draw on his record.
Yep.
Had a pretty crazy record. That DQ, he was beating up the guy, hit him in the back of the head. His no contest, he was getting TKO'd, and they called it a no contest by ref's mistake early on in his career. And I don't know if that's something similar to when he was playing Possum a couple fights ago, and they stopped it when he wasn't really knocked out. It's really old fight, so I have no idea how that went. Anyway, Cutelaba is a super fun guy to watch. Really, really dangerous power puncher. Kind of has a suspect chin now when you look at it. He pretty much got knocked out by a jab almost by Ankalaev. Kind of questionable chin. His last fight where that had a draw, he was still good at first, and then kind of faded, had like poor cardio. And he's fighting Devin Clark, who 6-5 in the UFC. 4 of his losses at light heavyweight are versus Anthony Smith and Ryan Spann, the 2 headliners of this card. Alexander Rakic, one of the best light heavyweights in the world, and Jan Blachowicz, the best light heavyweight in the world. So really a lot of his losses in the UFC, against the best of best. His other loss was actually at middleweight. It was his middleweight debut. He probably shouldn't have been in that weight class. He got knocked out back in 2016. So I don't know if that's one that really should be an asterisk on his record at all. I don't think we really should consider that. He's got 3 KO wins, 2 KO losses, 1 sub win, 3 losses, 8 decision wins. Not so much of a finisher. I think he's a real smart fighter, and I see him winning this fight by decision as Cutelaba fades later in the fight.
Well, all right. So my picking this fight came down to one thing for me, and it's grappling, because Devin Clark, junior college national championship, junior college. So we're not talking Division 1, Division 2, Division 3. No, lower than that, all junior college, right? He's 8-0 by decision. So obviously, if the fight goes the distance, he's got the cardio to make it.
Right.
But here's where it kind of conflicts to me a little bit. His biggest wins: Alonzo Menefield, Mike Rodriguez, Jake Collier, way bigger than Cutelaba's biggest wins, who are Khalil Roundtree, Gatsmarad Antigulov, and Henrique De Silva. Okay, I fucked it up.
No.
Oh, Gatsmarad, fuck it.
Oh, I don't know how to pronounce that one either. I saw that. I was researching there. I was like, what the hell is that?
Yeah, but here's where it gets tricky, okay? Because Clark, junior college national championship, but Cutelaba has a gold medal in combat sambo, or European combat sambo, in 2012. So he's not, cake on the ground. He's not horrible on the ground. He's got great takedown defense, and he's tough, man. He's always gonna.
Where the hell is that in his fights, though? Why the hell do you never see him going to Habib somebody or Makhachev somebody and drag him down the ground and beat him up on the ground, man? Why is this guy always standing and banging, risking getting knocked out every fight? He's a nut job. 50K.
50K's on the line, dog. But I'm saying, like, I still think he's going to try to do that. I think he's going to try to stand, and he's got a suspect chin. Devin Clark's got power in his hands. He's had a few knockouts in his career. But I'm just saying, if Devin Clark at all gets hurt and tries to go back to the well and take him down, like he's known to do, I don't think he's going to be able to do that so easily. So I think if he gets in a situation like that where he gets hurt and he's trying to survive, I think that Cutelaba has a good chance of finishing it out. And I'm more of a fan of Cutelaba's fight style than Devin Clark's fight style. So just
Me too.
Purely based on biasness, I'm going to go Cutelaba.
Gotcha. Me too. By the way, just crazy prediction on that fight, though. If Cutelaba loses, he gets cut by the UFC.
Probably. I don't think that's crazy. He hasn't won since Khalil Roundtree. Khalil Roundtree was like fucking.
Roundtree's done really well since then too. So it's crazy how a win over that guy. See 2 totally different paths for them moving forward.
Yeah, you ain't win since 2019. A little of 2 years going on.
Soon to be 3, man.
Yeah.
Soon to be 3 for sure. And then all the antics and stuff, like it's fun for fans, but UFC doesn't like that shoving and stuff at weigh-ins and all that crazy stuff. So
as long as he
unless
sticks
it's Conor McGregor.
As long as he sticks to the Khalil Roundtree shit, where he kind of just screamed in his face and it was like mad awkward and shit, then he's fine.
That's hilarious. All right, man. We got next we got main event, Anthony Smith versus Ryan Spann. Spann the man. Smith the lion-hearted.
Ryan Spann. I got Ryan Spann because, and he's an underdog in this fight. He's got a 5-inch reach advantage. I think their height's pretty close. 19-6, 11 submission wins, 5 knockout wins, 5-1 in the UFC. He won his last fight in March, a TKO over Misha Serkinov. The fight right before that, he lost to Johnny Walker. He is a former LFA light heavyweight champ and then a former Hero FC middleweight champ. This dude's like 6'3" or some shit, fought at middleweight. Huge middleweight. Anthony Smith, you know, he's on a 2-fight winning streak now. But before that, you know, we've seen what happened in the Glover Chair fight. We've seen what happened in the Rakic fight. I think that this guy's got big issues when he gets hurt and when the fight gets hard. I think he has big issues. And Ryan Spann is just the guy to make a fight hard. You know what I'm saying? He's got skills everywhere it goes, power in his hands, great grappling. There's not going to be any kind of place where Anthony Smith gets to take the fight and make it easy for himself. You know what I mean? So I think it's a really, really hard fight for Anthony Smith, and that's why I'm picking Ryan Spann. Most likely by finish.
Some sort of finish?
Yeah.
Yeah, I can definitely see that. I got Ryan Spann too, man. I really, really like Anthony Smith. Ryan Spann's been really impressive since being in the UFC. His one loss to Johnny Walker, he got knocked out, but he almost knocked out Johnny Walker right before that. It was a crazy fight. Wasn't very long, but he almost finished Johnny Walker. Crazy thing about Spann is definitely more of a submission artist in his career, but in his last 8 fights, or where he's gotten 4 of his 5 ever KOs. So he's definitely like coming to his own when it comes to the striking department as well. Like you said, super long reach advantage. I actually didn't even like notice that stat, but I know Smith's got pretty short arms for his height. And speaking of a guy who's big for middleweight, Smith's like 6'4" or 6'3". Yeah. He's big for middleweight too, but definitely has like shorter arms and like a smaller like upper frame, you know. So I think Spann's probably the bigger guy for this fight. Thing about Anthony Smith though, man, is I think he can definitely use a smart game plan to pull off a win in the end if he doesn't get hurt. I agree with you that once he gets hurt, he kind of I don't want to say he gives up, because I think he is, the way he fights is true to his name, Lionheart. I think he's super tough. I think he's got no quit, but I think the dude gets hurt and like then all he can do is just survive. Now what he's great at is surviving, but you know, he gets hit in the face 1 or 2 times and you start seeing him crumple. And again, he finds a way to survive, but he doesn't ever come back from that. I was impressed by what we saw in the Jimmy Crute fight. He came out with the leg kicks. It's not something we really see from him a lot. And he got that TKO win, the leg kicks, by Dr. Stoppage. He's got good submission skills too. But man, it's one of those things. He's so weathered. He's had 51 fights. He's been knocked out. He's been submitted. He's been gotten the crap beat out of him even recently by Glover Teixeira. Ryan Spann, a lot less blemishes on his record, a lot younger of a record, a bigger guy, very technical. Yeah, I got Ryan Spann. I can see the finish. I'm going to go by decision because I want to tip my hat to the toughness of Anthony Smith.
And just one thing about that is that, and what you were saying about the leg kicks on Anthony Smith, I think personally, if Anthony Smith comes into this fight really leg kick heavy, he could finish Ryan Spann. I don't think Ryan Spann's ever fought in his career anybody that's really went heavy on the leg kicks with him. It's been mostly fighting guys like strikers, grapplers. I mean, in those upper weight classes, there's not many guys that go heavy on leg kicks. It's not a thing to do in that weight class. You know, there's John Jones before he went to heavyweight. I'm sure Gustafsson landed his fair share of leg kicks, but there's not a lot.
I mean, the guys who do are kind of like the top guys. Jones is, I think Rakic probably throws a lot.
Hasn't fought any of those guys, so I think that's a key thing that Anthony Smith could bring to this fight and come out with the win.
Oh man, I almost forgot about this. I actually did write down one key stat for this fight too. I think that might push a little bit in Anthony Smith's favor for not getting finished. seeing as Spann is such a good submission artist. Anthony Smith at 51 fights has had 4 submission losses. All 3 of his fights in 2013 were all submission losses. He had 3 fights that year, all 3 lost by submission. His only other submission loss was in 2009.
It's been a while.
I think we're going to have a 5-rounder here, but you never know how it goes. So,
yeah. All right. So we're going to run down the prelims, and then we're going to jump into sleeper fight. Nate Maness, Tony Gravely, obviously, is on the main card now. I had it wrote down as a prelim. Nicholas Mata's fighting Cameron Van Camp. I forget who falls out of that fight, but somebody fell out. Van Camp coming in on short notice. Mike Rodriguez taking on, say his name.
Tafan Nchukwi.
Penny, say Penny's name.
Kianzad.
Kianzad versus Raquel Pennington. Dakota Bush against.
Oh no.
Yeah.
Wrong shoe.
JP Bays against Montel Jackson. Aaron Blanchfield versus Sarah Alpar. Impa Kasaganai versus Carlston Harris. Gustavo Lopez fighting. Drum roll for Ian.
Hi Lee Alatang.
And then Emily Whitmire.
Nailed it.
Yeah, hell yeah, nailed it. Emily Whitmire versus Hannah Goldie, opening up the prelims, which I think is actually a pretty good fight. I'm not, you know me, I'm not a really big fan of women's MMA, but I am a big fan of Hannah Goldie. I think she's a rising up and comer, and I think her fight with Whitmire will be like her coming out party kind of in the UFC.
You're getting canceled.
Super fight. Let's hear it.
Hold on, real quick. You're getting canceled for that, man. You don't like women's MMA, bro? Really?
Not a big fan.
Really? You know, like, have you heard of Ronda Rousey?
Yeah, not a fan.
Have you heard of Joanna Jędrzejczyk?
Not the biggest fan.
These are 2 of the greatest women's ever, bro. All right? No. Greatest fighting champions, WWE. Your video froze up again.
You too. But, the greatest woman fighter ever is Karolina Kowalkiewicz. 100%.
I can see it. See it.
Fucking lying to you.
Okay, so back to the sleeper fights on the prelims. Fight to watch. I got Mike Rodriguez versus Tafan Nchukwi. Somebody's getting knocked out bad in this fight. I'm leaning towards Nchukwi winning by knockout. I'm drawing a blank on Mike Rodriguez, man. I think I've seen a fight. Kind of drawing a blank on what he's all about, but
you're on a blank. He's fucking. He's got to be like 6'4", and Triki's got to be like fucking 6 foot flat, I think.
Yeah. So and Chukwi's cleaning his clock. Bad.
Can you still hear me?
Yeah.
All right, cool. Because I'm looking up. I'm looking up the size advantage because I thought when I was looking at
here.
That's one thing I thought was, damn, it's a fucking size disadvantage, man. Big time.
6'4" versus 6 foot.
Knockout power, there's no doubt. There you go. Damn, you beat me to it.
Yeah. Yeah, your video and sound sort of messing up when you went on there. A little bit.
I'm back.
Can you hear me? That's the question.
Am I back?
Your audio is. Oh. All right. Well, guys, this has been a great preview for these awesome fights this weekend. Got Easy the Casual. Got Mike the Robot coming at you, Barbecue Pit Live. He's still trying to talk. Sounds like a robot. Huh?
Good.
Oh, I see you. I hear you better now. Mike the Robot.
I told you.
I'm hearing myself from like 10 seconds ago playing back at me. All right, guys. We out. See you next time.